going to start with our Chief Product and Technology Officer, Saurabh, that's going to come up onto the stage to just give a little bit of a background on what we're doing from a technical and product perspective and sort of where we see both the industry and our suite of products moving going forward. So with that, I would love to welcome Saurabh to the stage.
You're bringing a technologist to us. Thank you, everyone. A quick introduction. I'm the Chief Product and Technology Officer at Onclusive. I've spent a couple of decades in this space with some of the names that you're all familiar with in the industry, building and supporting media intelligence solutions for clients of all sizes. You will see that we are able to do it Onclusive is think in terms of your workflow. What is your workflow? How do we solve the communication workflow challenges that you're facing? And the stages that you're seeing here are all designed around your workflow. We have different capabilities in our portfolio that help you address those workflow needs. For example, when you think of planning your campaign, we have AP Planner, which has been built in partnership with AP. Which lets you know about the newsworthy events. You can plan your campaign and effectively by knowing what's coming, using our planning capabilities. We have ability for you to manage your engagement with the media. PR Manager helps you create an interaction list. It helps you create a full CRM of what you are doing with your interactions with the journalist and allows you to do press release distribution, or newsroom outreach to journalists, and we have a database of well-validated 300,000 contacts in the database. You also want to then bring it all together in terms of monitoring and measuring your results. We have products like Critical Mention, which gives you access to earned and social media content. We capture more than 11 million hours of broadcast content in the last year, so it's all there for you. And from our perspective, what we are trying to do here is make sure that you get that full communications workflow, your planning, management, monitoring, analysis, and reporting available through our products and services. And Onclusive is very unique in doing some of this in the marketplace. Talking a bit more about what exactly are we doing from a product and technology perspective, right? I have a team of about 200 plus people. And I think we are still available, right? So, oh, that makes more sense. Should I be looking at that? No, it makes more sense what I was talking about. See, that's right, I should do more sales presentation. So what I was talking about, just to go back, right? What I was talking about was the communication workflow that you're going through, from planning, managing your media outreach, making sure that you're able to monitor and measure the media, and then you learn from what is happening with this media and bring it all forward. And that's what we are able to offer with our portfolio of products that I talked about earlier, right? So just taking you through a product strategy, what we do from a product perspective. I have a team of about 200 people globally, and there are 3 pillars to what we are doing in terms of our product intelligence. We are building tools that get out rich enrichment from this content data. Content data by itself means nothing. What we want to make sure is we are able to enrich it for you so you can use it in different workflow needs that I talked about in the previous slide, right? We know that the media landscape is changing, so we need to be on top of technology. I will take you through some examples of our technology, and we're using some of the latest technology out there to help address these workflow needs for you. We talked about client first, and for us it's very important to recognize that we tailor our solutions for you. Irrespective of the industry, the client size that you are in, we're able to address that for you. And then from a coverage perspective, and again I'll talk a bit more about it, we have some of the most comprehensive coverage in the industry around monitoring and data that we bring to the table for you. And our approach from an engineering and product perspective is how do we build and support the best media intelligence solutions for you in the industry. So let's take some examples of what we are doing and how these are addressing your different use cases, right? We leverage technology, including the latest in AI, to help you understand the impact of what you are doing, right? So we believe that we need to balance technology with humans to help address these needs for you. I'll give you an example of how this flows with some of the words that are the buzzwords that you're seeing here, right? We use IPTC media topics. Some of you are familiar with IPTC media topics? Anyone is familiar with it?
Yeah. I work at the company, so.
I think I have to make it more interactive rather than a one-way presentation. I like that. So we use IPTC media topics. These are industry standards for news, which really helps you tag a piece of content. This is what the topic is all about. It's a fairly standardized industry terminology. We use those 1,200 topics to really categorize all news content that is coming in. So imagine these millions of pieces of content coming in. They're automatically tagged with this IPTC news topics that we have in our database, right? Organic topic detection, what it does is it uses machine learning to go beyond these topics. It identifies related topics and themes and makes it available for you for monitoring. Very unique, so we use the foundation of IPTC and we go beyond it in terms of identifying themes organically for you. Think of what you can do with that in terms of your communication planning and communication outreach. That's what we're able to offer with that. We have trend detection. Trend detection really goes another level, which looks at velocity of the topic. How quickly is the topic increasing? How quickly is it decreasing? What's driving that? And then something very unique is peak analysis. When you look at these interesting trend lines and charts, what's behind it? What's the traditional way that industry does it? You click on a piece of that chart and you try to read the articles. What we do is, you click on that peak, you'll get a quick summary. In simple English, this is what's driving the coverage. So you can actually get that insight all for you summarized using AI in one place. We have risk detection, which actually looks at what are the reputational risks with the content. We use, again, AI to tag content in terms of, is it a brand risk, is it a product risk, is it a reputation risk, so you can quickly see what could be potential risks to your brand or to your company. We're able to do that. Sentiment, does everyone use sentiment in the industry?
Yep. Yes.
What are the problems with sentiment? I'm sure everyone can talk about problems with sentiment. Do you find it perfect? Because everyone has document level sentiment. For 20 years, I've seen that everyone has document level sentiment. What we are doing is going a level beyond that to look at contextual sentiment from the point of view of your messaging, your brand, and how it can help address some of the issues that you're looking to solve. So we go level beyond what you see in the industry. And then all these pieces come together in what we call our whole suite, so you can focus on creating and implementing your communication plans. Goes back to the first slide that I talked about. So how does this all come together from a technology perspective? And what I want to talk to you about is, where has Onclusive been for the last 2 years and what have we been doing, right? You think of the front end, you see the features that we have in our products and you see that in other companies' products out there. And a lot of companies in this industry have been brought together through acquisitions, bringing together multiple companies. You will find that they are not connected because the backends are not connected. The front end is not really the key problem. The problem is making sure that the backend, where you're ingesting all this content, you're ingesting all this data, really works together. Last 2 years, Onclusive quietly has been building a backend system called Global Content Hub. We've used the latest in technologies to build this Global Content Hub. And it processes 28 million pieces of content every day across all media types, whether it's print, online, broadcast, social, scan print. We have presence in the European market where you get PDFs that clients want. We are able to take that all in one place, right? And also keep in mind that we also use our own technology to do that. We have our own web crawler, which is able to get online content the way we want it for our clients. We are the only provider in the industry that has its own broadcast content capture mechanism, so we're able to make it available for you. And then we have social that we're able to make available for you, all in one place. And then it's not just storing that content in one place, it's also making sure that we can enrich it. You just don't want to see the content. You want to see what's the impact score, what's the sentiment, what's the reputation, what's the PR attribution. These are all enrichments, as we call it, right? We have automated that whole process, that this enrichment is done in 14 seconds as soon as the content comes in. So all the investment we've been making is over the last 2 years to build this foundation, on top of which now we can continue building more products and services for it, right? We've processed about 2 billion pieces of earned media last year. We have the broadest range of content, period, in the industry. Broadest. We are massive numbers that you're seeing up here. Scale means that we are able to deliver this when you need it, where you need it, with the relevant metrics. That's what differentiates us in the marketplace, right? In addition to Global Content Hub, remember, it's not just the content, we also get data about the people who are driving the conversation, the journalists, the people. We have our own media database that is able to get that information, so we are able to tie it back to what they're writing about. And then we make sure that we have a way for our teams internally to keep this up to date and automated. It's a term we use internally called production tool. We are able to automate the process of how our teams go in, and when they need to for specific clients, manage editorial reviews, manage briefs, that they can do it using this internal tool, all on the same global content. And then what it really brings together is this platform that you see. This is the magic. You don't see this, but we have done the investment in making this work over the last few years. This is really the magic that makes it all powerful, where you think about what you see in your customer experience, right? And our goal is to make sure that we continue investing in this over the coming years and the experience that you're seeing in our products, right? And the problems, again, that we are solving from your perspective, these are our use cases, your use cases that we support, whether it's relating to brand reputation monitoring, whether it's crisis management, whether it's horizon scanning, whether it's making sure that your communication is amplified with the right audience, or looking at more agile insights or competitive intelligence. Your use cases are supported by our solutions using this global content at the back. And last but not the least, I'm sure you've been talking to folks here. We're very excited to talk about Onclusive Social. It's bringing together some of our newest capabilities that are coming in from Digimind. We have access to content from multiple sources, including TikTok as an example, including LinkedIn as an example. That, in addition to the traditionals that you know of, like Twitter. And it's not just the content, but how we are able to aggregate it and make it available in metrics that makes it unique for us. So I'm sure there are many interesting things that we will talk about as we want to learn about Onclusive Social. And that should be the end of what I want to talk about.